law firm sales process mistakes. These are lessons learned. I was just at the National Trial Lawyer Summit in Miami, learning from Matt Morgan, son of John Morgan from Morgan & Morgan. I think his name was Mike Morse. I looked into his firm, unbelievable firm, big PI firm. And there were quite a few people who were heavy hitters in the both law firm marketing and just general, running a law firm niche that, some of the takeaways here were mind-boggling. If you go into trial for the niches of law that you serve, please go to the National Trial Lawyer Summit next year. It was an amazing event. So let's dive in to the law firm sales process and or intake process mistakes. Number one is having paralegals answer your calls. This is a big mistake. You cannot just have a paralegal or a receptionist who has 40 other things to do every day answer your calls. You are spending a lot of money on marketing. Whether you're spending money on marketing or not spending money on marketing, you're still spending money on marketing. And what I mean by that is everything you do in your law firm is marketing. If you provide a great service, that's marketing. If you provide a terrible service, that's also marketing. That also gets you attention and word of mouth, but negative word of mouth. The biggest mistake that everyone was saying at this event was having a paralegal or a receptionist who has 40 other things to do answer a sales-related call is a big mistake. So stop doing that. You need someone who is ready and trained and knows what to do to take someone who's on the fence and make them retain you as their lawyer. So that is the first mistake. The next is not using e-signature. This is a huge mistake. Wanting to have an investigator drive out to sign up all of your clients, that's great. Having someone physically drive out, even if it's not an investigator, yeah, that's great too. It sounds great to say that we drive out to every one of our clients. I get it. And there are times and places where that is a differentiator and it helps, but it's a mistake to not offer e-signature, because what you don't realize is you think e-signature is going to be uncomfortable for people, but it's actually much easier for them because they don't have to wait around. You don't get stuck in traffic. They're not wondering what time you're going to be there. It allows them to get the job done a lot faster and for you to get the job done a lot faster. And quite frankly, it allows for more automation and documentation in a cloud-based software versus storing your files with scribble on a piece of paper when you just had an intake call. When you do everything through e-signature, it's much easier to automate the organization of your contracts and your client files. And then the third mistake is you just think that your leads need to be called back once. Or I should say differently, you think that your leads have the same sales process as you. So let's say you're the type of person who likes to be called back after you submit your information on a website. Okay, that's great. That's you. That's not your client. The mistake there is depending on one follow-up mechanism, usually the mechanism that the lawyer or the law firm owner or managing partner thinks is the best way is usually the way that they would prefer themselves as a buyer. But that is a big mistake because everyone consumes information differently. When you get a lead, you should be texting them 3 times in that same day. You should be calling them 3 times in that same day, leaving one voicemail. You don't want to leave voicemails for every single follow-up call, or that could be labeled as harassment, but you can call them back more than once, more than twice. And some of the firms there, I believe Morgan & Morgan said that they do for certain types of cases, they call them back 3 times in the same day, text them 3 times in the same day, and leave one voicemail. And then in addition to that, if they left email, they're also going to get an email. And then another secret method that you can do is you can actually just add them on social media. The interesting thing is you'll realize people's dominant communication style pretty quick when you communicate it to them in 5 platforms within the first hour of them reaching out to you. So these are the 3 biggest law firm sales process or intake process mistakes. And really what this looks like when you implement a great intake process is your percentage of qualified cases signed, which is the KPI to audit your intake process. If you want to audit your intake process, the number one thing to measure is the percentage of qualified cases signed. Percentage of qualified cases signed. Not just percentage of cases signed, because you could have a bad lead source pulling in leads and you'll think your intake process is bad, but really you just have a bad lead source. So it's percentage of qualified cases signed. That is the KPI to know whether your intake system is working or not. The average is 70% qualified cases signed. You could get up to 90%, which literally think about that. That's an extra 20% right there. Of all the leads you generate, that's an extra 20% of business right there. How big of an impact would that have on your firm? So my point here is that the answer isn't always more leads, more leads, more leads. Sometimes the answer is better intake system, better process. You need to, no matter what, a law firm will have holes in the ship. Every business has holes in the ship. It's the business owner's job. It's the operation team's job. It's the COO team's job. It's everyone on the team's job, if they're incentivized correctly, to make sure that the leaking is minimized. And if there is a big leak, that leak is plugged up as quickly as possible. So those are the top 3 law firm sales process mistakes. Learn from some of the biggest heavy hitters in the United States from the National Trial Lawyer Summit. So make sure you get those 3 things in check. The best way to do that is to write out a project brief, hand it to the most operations focused person on your team, tell them, hey, I trust that you can get this done, let them run with it, and let them report back to you when they're done. Give a deadline, give a who, meaning assign someone to the task, and give a deadline, and then write out the project. What do you want done? Why is it important? And what things must be true when this is complete? Write that on a piece of paper, hand it to the most operations-focused person on your team, and wait till you see what happens. You have to solve this, though. The answer isn't always more leads, more leads, more leads. So hope you found this valuable. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do, so that you can get real-time notifications when we release new videos like this. Also, if you're looking for a free marketing consultation, please go to smbteam.com and submit your information. And even if you don't want a marketing consultation, just put your email in at our website, and you'll be put on our daily email drip, which gives you free value-add information every day to your inbox on legal marketing. So I hope you found value again in this, and I will see you in the next video.